Well, this is one of the latest paintings that I've started. It quite tickles me when I see these art experts on the television and they all analyse paintings and they know exactly what, oh yes, I know exactly what he was doing here, and going on at great lengths about what the artist's done. Well, in reality, I've put the sky in. I quite fancy the idea of a sort of a moody sort of, a sunset or sunrisey type sky. I've started to put some landscape in. Initially I felt that it may be exactly that, a landscape, but what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to block in a harbour across here, so you've got the fields off in the distance, so these will become much smaller and different crops in them, and these trees might become, these hills might become slightly larger. So all in all, I think we'll have a harbour, sort of bending round somewhat, coming through the painting, and then probably 3 or 4 bigger boats behind the harbour, water running along the bottom, and some smaller boats obviously sitting in the harbour, and trying to bring sort of the community feel of a local sort of harbour painting through to sort of the countryside and beyond, really. The larger community, I suppose you want. So that's what we're planning to do. We've blocked in a lot of colour. I'm quite happy with the sky. I mean, these fields, I suppose, will change colour many times, and then, like you see, there's probably going to be 3 or 4 bigger boats here, and then a series of houses going through, and then you've got the harbour wall there, and you're going to have water and some of the smaller boats there. So keep watching, and we'll see how the painting comes along. So, and you'll see how paintings chop, change, go back, advance, retreat, all sorts of things really, and how you end up with a final painting. So since you were last here, we've started to put in the main street. This is going to become a round building, which is a little unusual. I seen one in Anstruther, which was quite nice up there. And I'm going to start tiering the houses so you get a different skyline. In here I've put the old church there. I'll go along the back of the building there. Obviously the fishing communities are very religious to a point when they go off to sea. I'm starting to build up the harbour behind. There'll be a boat here, boat here, boat here, boat there probably another building in here because it's going round the corner. And to widen the sea wall, I'm starting to put the smaller fishing boats along here. Your sense of scale and the bigger boats here, and then we'll start putting the fields in for the agriculture and things behind. So all in all, it's starting to take slow shape. Fingers crossed you'll see it from start to finish, and I've enjoyed the wander. Well, welcome back. As you can see, we've probably pushed the paint on a bit further. Getting a real sense of identity now. I'm starting to put the people in the coffee shops and the bars, and trying to build up that sort of community feel to it. Another place sort of buzzing, boats coming in, boats going out. Hopefully got the lighting just about right in this one. Just starting to put a bit of shade on the hills so you get the sense that it's undulating all over the place, which is what you're after. And then I'm going to start naming, let's say, the bars after. I name them after collectors, I name them after great friends of mine, offer to commission obviously the people's names go in the painting. It's funny, it's kind of taken a few different directions, but yeah, fairly happy with it. So keep watching, and fingers crossed in not too distant future it'll be finished. Well, welcome back. Very, very close to having this one finished now. The title I came up with it from the start was probably A New Dawn, and well, I think that kind of works really. It's about community. Obviously you've got your fishing fleet coming in now, they're all, going through some hard times, trying to make a living, trying to catch fish, trying to pay the bills, that sort of scenario where you've got the coffee shops and various shops here, we'll film it with people then. So it's about the hustle and bustle of life really, and also trying to take a more sombre message at the back. I mean, you've got the boats there. We used to build boats, and we used to have shipyards and pits and steelworks and or big heavy industries that employed lots and lots of people. I mean, you've got a buzzword now with politicians, and the buzzword is get them back to work. Well, I'm all for that, and in fact most people who are at dole or on the dole would want to get back to work, but it's offering them something to do. So, you know, all these places have sort of took on an extra pair of hands, and the place is vibrant and bouncing, and you know, because people aren't sitting festering in the house, they're meeting people and they're interacting, and it's making for a better community. So in this painting, it's about almost the politician's message: let's get out there, let's make a difference in our communities, let's try and change it, let's try and get the place bouncing again how it used to be, you know, quite busy and going in the right direction. And then perhaps we can also keep an eye on politicians who of course are very cyclic, as no one worked that out yet. It doesn't seem to matter who was in, you do seem to get your boom and then you do seem to get your bust. So let's try and not bother with a bust next time round, and let's just keep a steady sort of rise in fortunes for the country. So we've got some great collector friends of mine. We've got Mr. Kyle there and Mr. Fox, and then we've got Martin, who's done the music for my website. He's from Mansfield area, so we've got Mansfield Place there, and we've got Linda's Place, and we've got Fleming's after Old Colin doing the stairs, and yeah, a very vibrant, happening, bouncing picture, and fingers crossed it'll send a message out there and not hang around for too long.